Hello and welcome to the special episode of Cricket Predicta, sponsored by 1xBat. I'm Anant Kaur, and as always, I'm ready to bring you the latest updates from the world of cricket. In today's episode, we will talk about today's match, which will be played between Lucknow Super Giants and Mumbai Indians. But before that, let's talk about yesterday's match, where the defending champions Kolkata Knight Riders defeated Sunrisers Hyderabad by 80 runs. It was a rematch of the last year's final, but Venkatesh Iyer's 60 runs explosive knock and stellar performance of KKR's bowlers put KKR in the contention for the win. Sunrisers Hyderabad could not do much, and this is their biggest defeat in the history of IPL when you see the runs. This is their third consecutive defeat. Their season has not started well. KKR posted a total of 200 for 6 in 20 overs after batting first, and in response, Sunrisers Hyderabad were bowled out for just 120 runs in 16.4 overs. Kolkata Knight Riders seem to have got their campaign now on the track with their second win, but still there is a lot to go. But that was yesterday, and now when we come to today's match, which will be played between Mumbai Indians, two captains, Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya, will go head-to-head. Both teams have won just one match so far and will be looking for their second victory. Lucknow Super Giants had lost their previous match at their home ground and will be eager to make a comeback. Now, let's look into this match with deeper insights. For this, I have two guests with me today, Paul Dennett, Australian journalist, and CM Gautam, former cricketer. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining with me. Hi, Paul. How are you doing?
Hi, Anna. I'm good. I'm a bit disappointed that SRH got beaten so badly. I'm a bit of an SRH fan because of Pat Cummins, but I'm good. I'm looking forward to tonight's match.
Thank you so much. And Gautam, how are you doing today? How is everything with you?
Hi, Anand. I'm good. How are you doing? All good.
I'm very well. IPL is heating up, so we are all gearing up for it. So let's talk about little of the yesterday's match, Paul. As you said that you're disappointed with Sunrisers Hyderabad. What is the strategy which needs to be changed? Because runs have not been scored, top order is failing. What needs to be done now?
Well, it seems a long time ago that we were talking about maybe they'd score 300 this season after that 286 in the first game. I've been defending their approach up until now. I've been saying that playing aggressively the whole way through is the right way to play. I did think last night that they should have taken a leaf out of KKR's book. They recognised, especially after they lost those two early wickets, that it wasn't necessarily a belter. It wasn't a bad pitch by any means, but it just wasn't coming quite on. And I thought that maybe Head and Abhishek could have just seen things a little bit. I thought that Ishan Kishan's dismissal was typical of the pitch, that he hit it nicely, but he just got under it a little bit. So I think, you've just got to say it's just a terrible performance, the biggest loss in their history. I still think they'll be figuring when the tournament really matters. But last night, they've got to forget about it.
They definitely need to forget about it as soon as possible. Gautam, I'd like to ask you that KKR, they are just coming off to track. Batting, bowling was not clicking, but now their bowling looks lethal and batting too. What do you have to say about their performance?
I think after the first game, they were regrouped and they just started where they left last season. I think they found their combinations right, and the batting seems to be clicking now. Even though they were like 15 for 2 yesterday, the way Rahane and Angrish batted, they respected the condition and situation really well. And from there, after that, Rinku and Venkatesh Iyer took over. That was a perfect platform for them to go after the bowling in the last 6-7 overs. So that should be the target, you can't just go bang bang. You have to respect the condition, play the situation. So that's what the KKR did, and they bowled really well in the power play yesterday. As Paul was mentioning, after Ishan Kishan got out, it was all over for SRH yesterday.
I believe finally their 23 crore player is performing. They'll be happy about that. But that was sort of yesterday. But today it's a big match. Lucknow Super Giants versus Mumbai Indians. Lucknow Super Giants, Paul, have dominated Mumbai Indians in their head-to-head record, because when you see they have played 6 matches and Lucknow Super Giants have won 5 times and Mumbai Indians only once. But when you look at LSG's form this season, it has been poor. So can they challenge a strong team like Mumbai on their home ground?
Yeah, they certainly can. Although you look at things, they're both 1 and 2, as you said. I think there's a sort of a feeling that although they're next to each other on the table at the moment, they're heading in different directions, and that Mumbai are heading up to good times, and LSG are going to face a difficult season. The interesting thing is that they've changed the soil. They're going from the red to the black soil, which should mean that the spinners are really coming to their own. And so it could come down to which spinning side does the best. Ravi Bishnoi is the one that I'm a little bit worried about. I was just looking at some numbers this morning, and for all bowlers in the tournament so far who've bowled 5 overs or more, he has the third worst economy rate. So I think that that's something they're going to need to look from him. And yeah, they can win, but Mumbai is going to be my tip, I think.
Paul, in IPL 2025, when you see both Lucknow and Mumbai are in a similar position with only 1 win each. Lucknow lost their previous match and Mumbai regained their form with win after losing their 2 consecutive matches. So, what do you think will be the key thing when you have to secure victory today, either for Lucknow and for Mumbai?
Look, I think it comes down to Hardik Pandya is. I think he's back to his best. I think he's due for a big game. I think it was noticeable that the Mumbai crowd were much more favourable to him in the previous game. Not that they're playing in Mumbai, but that shows that he's going to be handling things a lot better. And I think Trent Boult, he's always a key. And even if the pitch is going to be a real spinning wicket, in the absence of Bumrah, it's disappointing that his back injury. I think it's right that they are being conservative about it. But I think that for Mumbai, Trent Boult definitely looms as an absolute key. And, the LSG question, it's all down to do they rely too much on Nicholas Puran and Rishabh Pant? It's stating the obvious, but everyone's looking for something from him.
Everyone is looking something from everyone and they are yet to click in fully. Gautam, I'd like to ask you that except for Aiden Markram, all top order batters for Lucknow Super Giants have performed well. Can they withstand Mumbai's strong bowling attack? Because when you see Aiden Markram's last innings was 28, 1 and 15, and then Mitchell Marsh and Nicholas Puran also have performed well. But what about this match?
Yeah, I think LSG batting has been pretty inconsistent, to be honest with you. Even Rishabh Pant, for that matter, is not performed in the last 3 games. So it's high time that even he comes into the party and gets some runs. And Markham, of course, that you need to give that good start. They have a good batting lineup, but at the same time they're underperforming. So when it comes to Markram, he's got a rich international experience where he can come and just like bat 15 overs, so that the rest of them can play around him. So that's not been happening for LSG this season. So you're just exposing Pant in the power play itself. So I think their batting has been inconsistent. When it comes to Mumbai, I think they bowled really well last game. It was a convincing victory for them against a very good KKR side at Wankhede. So this is going to be a very crucial game today between LSG and MI. In terms of the points and the standings, it's more or less the same. So it's going to be an interesting game today.
And Gautam, one more thing, when you see Mumbai Indians bowling attack, it is among the best bowling sides. They are second best in terms of wicket taken, average economy rate, and all this without Jasprit Bumrah. So how lethal do they look to you, and especially when you see ahead, course of the tournament?
Yeah, I think they've added some good bowlers, even though Bumrah's absence is like a huge dent in their bowling lineup. But at the same time, they got Trent Boult. They got a new bowler in Ashwani last game. So I think the scouts have been doing pretty well, picking all these Vignesh Puttur, all these new guys. So I think they bowled really well. I think the batting is not that clicking for them. So if they get their good start in the top 3, I think they'll be a very dominant force.
Paul, Rishabh Pant's captaincy this season has not been impressive, and is changing teams and leading a new franchisee a tough challenge when you see in the IPL, especially keeping Rishabh Pant in mind?
Well, yeah, I think it is, but mainly because of the pressure. I mean, when you've gone for that much money and you're the key player for the franchise, and he's such a superstar. The byplay with Staniel Gavaskar. He's at the kind of the forefront of everyone's mind when it comes to the IPL. So. Tactics, field changes, and all that. I don't think it's as significant. It just comes down to you have 3 failures, which is all it is. It's not the end of the world by any means whatsoever. He is just as likely to go out there tonight and crack 50, and we'll all be saying what an inspired choice he was at the auction and that he is worth every rupee. But every time he fails, that sort of pressure cooker environment it is extraordinary how much pressure comes from the media and in this day of social media on various players. So I think that sometimes we just need to give them a bit of breathing space. And 3 games in a row is not a bad trot. It's just 3 games in a row.
I think breathing space is less here because matches are going back to back. You don't have much time, so you have that little time to breathe and just come back the next match. And Gautam, Lucknow Super Giants bought Rishabh Pant for 27 crores. We all know that, but he's only scored 17 runs in 3 innings this season. So can he overcome the pressure, as Paul was mentioning, of his price tag and play a big knock today? Because we've seen his strike rate against Mumbai Indians has been 139.84, average has been 28, and highest score has been 78. So do we see big score coming today?
Yeah, obviously, see, when you come into the tournament after such a huge price tag, the pressure will be there, And he's someone who's done extremely well for the franchisee and for the country. And sometimes when you change the franchisee, your mindset, the environment changes, So he still has to get adapted to the condition and their new team. So obviously he's a big match player, and we all know that under pressure is a brilliant player. So it is just that he's one knock away. If he gets one big score, probably he'll be back with a bang. So all you and as Paul said, this IPL is a very cruel tournament because you don't get enough time to think over your game because you're half the time on the road and half the time you're playing. So you don't have the time to think, and it goes in a very fast phase. So he has to take time off or probably have some extra sessions and get back to his original form.
Now, Gautam, let's come to the main players who's got us the Champions Trophy T20 World Cup. So, except for Rohit Sharma, all Mumbai Indians have shown their firepower. But will Rohit finally step up today and deliver a strong performance? Because when you see his last innings have been 13, 8, and 0. So, what do you think will today be his performance like?
Personally, I think he showed a little bit in the last game, and I could tell from his reaction when he got out. He had that look of, oh, this was starting to feel good, and then it ended very quickly. Didn't show it on the scoreboard, but I think we read into it a little bit too much. He is he did just win the Champions Trophy with India. He did just win the T20 World Cup with India. He actually had a disappointing tour of Australia for sure. But he's not so old that he can't perform. And I think that he's still looking like he's hitting the ball well. David Warner always used to say, I'm not out of form, I'm just out of runs. And I'm sure that Rohit Sharma in the nets knows that he's still got it. Wouldn't it all surprise me if tonight is the night? Although if the pitch is stopping and it's it's spinning a little bit, maybe not the ideal conditions for him. But sooner or later, he's going to play a big innings in this IPL.
Yeah, we've seen how Ryle Rickenton performed in the last match, and then Suryakumar Yadav is also coming in form, and so is Tilak Verma. So the batting is also looking improved, barring a few players, and the bowling as well. So how lethal now Mumbai Indians looks to you, Paul?
Well, I mean, they were so disappointing last season, and you look at their side and you think they have to be a high performing side. Ryan Rickelton, I think, was a key, as you said, because they knew that he was a really, really good player. But until you see it once in India, you always got that question mark. Sky coming back wasn't a long innings, but it was a beautiful innings from everyone from a Mumbai Indians point of view. And then, their bowling. Gautam mentioned that they've got those two exciting new players, Ashwani Kumar and Vignesh Putta. Putta will be interesting tonight. I like how he gives it a bit of flight. It's not always the type of bowling that is sort of favoured by Indian pitches, that sort of wrist spin where you give it flight. It's the sort of spin bowling that works elsewhere. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes. But yeah, I think they're a strong team again.
It definitely looks to be a very strong team this time. Gautam, looking at Ekana Stadium stats in 15 matches, both batting first and chasing teams have won 50% of the time. But how much significance does the toss hold at this venue? Because when you see batting first, 7 matches have been won, batting second, 7, and only 1 has been a no result. So how much will be toss crucial today?
To be honest with you, no one knows what kind of a wicket is they're playing on the Ekana Stadium. Even Zahir Khan had mentioned a few days back in the press conference saying that we don't know what kind of wicket we are getting. So it's a new stadium. It's been like it's still like a mystery, Like they don't know whether to prepare a batting wicket or a bowling wicket or a slow wicket. So what I heard was when Zaire asked for a slow wicket, apparently they made a fast wicket. There was a lot of grass and the ball was nipping around. So so they don't know exactly like what is happening in Eknath Stadium. Even when I spoke to KL Rahul, is my very good friend last year, and even he said the same thing. Like I don't know what is happening. We just tell the curator to prepare a good cricketing wicket. So, so they don't have that home conditions, to be honest with you, whereas other teams have. So it is interesting. That is the reason you say like 50-50. Whether you bat first or bat second, it doesn't matter. So you have to play good cricket all around there.
I mean, that's very rightly put up by you because they also don't know what to put up. But what we know is that, Paul, the player battle between Rishabh Pant and Deepak Chahar has been dominant mostly by the Mumbai Indians pacer. So, will it be a struggle for Pant to make a comeback into his form this game? Because strike rate has been again 133, but once he's been bowled out by Deepak, and run score is 24, average is 24. So, what do you think about this battle today?
Yeah, I mean, it's hopefully it can come to fruition and Punt can last long enough to face some balls from him. I mean, Deepak Chahar under a little bit of pressure himself. It wasn't quite the high profile price tag of Rishabh Pant, but 9.25 crore. That's a significant sum of money. It's not easy in the IPL with these conditions for swing bowlers. You can bowl quite well and you get hit around all over the place. So if it's the sort of pitch that tonight does favour the spinners, it's going to be he's going to be up against it. And yeah, I'm pretty bullish about these two batsmen that I keep on talking about, Punt and Rohit Sharma. But I'm backing Punt to score some runs tonight.
You are going with Pant this time, okay? And Gautam, in 2002 and 2024, the face-off between star LSG batter Nicholas Puran and veteran MI pacer Trent Bolt has been quite interesting. As you look at the stats, the balls have faced 9, and once he's been bowled out by Bolt, strike rate has been 211.1, average 19. So, how significant will this matchup be in this game?
I think Puran has been batting extremely well. Like he's been dominant in the entire tournament. And if you look at his strike rate, he's striking at probably 250 plus. So he's been batting very, very well this tournament. And at the same time, Trent Bolt is a very, very experienced and senior bowler. He knows like how to use the conditions. And having seen the last couple of matches, if the LSG bat first, I think Trent Bolt will have the upper hand at Eknath Stadium today.
And star LSG spinner Ravi Bishnoi has dominated the head-to-head player battle against the veteran MI batter Suryakumar Yadav. So will Ravi Bishnoi trouble Suryakumar Yadav and MI at the spin-friendly Ekana Stadium at Lucknow, Gautam? Because when you see their stats as well, this is very interesting that Ravi Bishnoi has taken out Suryakumar Yadav thrice and his strike rate has been 121. So what will their battle be today?
Yeah, if you see Surya Kumar over the years, I think he's been a brilliant player of spin bowling. He can sweep, he can hit over covers, and is a very good player of spin bowling. But at the same time, if you keep getting out to a particular spinner, that plays in your mind when you play against that particular bowler. So obviously, Ravi Bishnoi has had a lot of success against Surya Kumar Yadav. But having said that, Surya is a world-class cricketer. He can change things around in one game. So it will be an interesting battle going forward today because even Mumbai Indians need a victory here. So it will be a very good contest actually between bat and ball.
So, Gautam, which is the key player you're looking forward to perform today? One player in mind you think that today is going to take the wickets or score big?
I want Rohit Sharma to get 100 today. It's been high time. I think I want him to get runs. I want Mumbai Indians to start winning consistently.
And Paul, who's your pick today from either bowler or batter to score big or take big wickets today?
Maybe Majid, if he gets a game. I think his type of bowling could be very well suited to this wicket. And from an Australian point of view, I would like to see Mitchell Marsh not get a golden duck like he did last game and return to the form of the first two matches.
You're supporting Australians throughout.
I'm trying not to let that show. Is that coming through? Yes.
No. No, you're also supporting Rohit because you already said that yes, Rohit has to perform. But Mitchell Marsh as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Rohit perform because I like him, and I I want to see him in England in the upcoming Test series, and I'm sure he's going to go anyway. But some form in the IPL will quash any doubts around that. So, and he's such a fun batter to watch when he's at his best. So yeah, I'd love to see Rohit do well and the Australians do well if that's possible.
Oh, anyone does well, good for the team, good for them to win. So now, a quick prediction, Gautam. Who do you think will win today and get their second victory?
I think MI have the upper hand going into this game. I think the last game they did really well. It was a convincing victory against a good team. So they'll be more confident. And LSG at the same time, they had a demoralizing defeat last game. So I think Mumbai Indians going into this game, I feel.
Paul, who's your pick today? Who do you think?
Yeah, I'm tipping Mumbai as well, which any Mumbai Indian fans are probably sad about because my tips seem to go. Maybe I'm one of these ones that if you follow everyone I tip against, I might actually be a very good tipster. So I'm tipping Mumbai, which might mean that LSG win.
Okay, so we are tipping Mumbai, and I think I'm in Mumbai Indians colours. So I won't say anything. Whosoever wins, it's good for the game. We definitely have a coming up. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining in. It has been, as always, a great show, and your deeper insights have taken us and taught us many more things. So we'll be back with again with new updates, and till then, keep watching Cricket Predicta, and thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.